Hey, Monique.
Hello. Awesome. We have just made quorum. Start in about 10 seconds. All right. I want to welcome everyone to the Casa Esperanza Board of Directors meeting for July 1st, 2021. We do have a quorum here, so we're going to get started with our agenda. Beginning with our welcome and introductions, which will welcome Dr. Miller for joining us officially as interim head of school today, and we'll give an introduction in a moment for him to speak in a few minutes. But first, let's have the conflict of interest statement read, followed by the school mission statement, please.
Board members are reminded that it is our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of this board. Does any member of the board know of any conflict of interest or any appearance of conflict with respect to any matters coming before us at this meeting? If so, please state them for the record. If during the course of the meeting you become aware of an actual or apparent conflict of interest, please bring the matter to the attention of the chair. It will then be your duty to abstain from participating in discussion on the matter and from voting on the matter. Now the mission statement. Casa Esperanza Montessori educates students using the Montessori philosophy and Spanish language acquisition in a way that develops independent, self-motivated individuals who possess the critical thinking skills necessary to become responsible global citizens.
Thank you. Moving on, for our consent agenda, there are just 2 items that I wanted to have added here. So from the one that was sent out, all of those agenda items are the remaining. And then to the end of that, I would propose that we add sublease proposal, which needs to be considered in closed session, and then personnel, which also needs to be discussed in closed session. Are there any questions for that? Okay, if not, could we have a motion to approve the consent agenda with the addition of those 2 items, sublease proposal and personnel?
Move to approve the revised agenda. That's Alice.
Second, this is John.
Thank you. Those in favor, aye. Mike?
Aye.
Monica? Alice?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
And Soraka?
Aye.
All right. Joining us. Next item of business is the minutes to be approved, and that was from our June 17th meeting. I did not note any edits that needed to be made.
Motion to
If no one else
approve.
has any edits? Thank you.
Second, this is Monica.
Thank you. Those in favor? Aye. John?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Monica?
Aye.
Thanks. Alice?
Aye.
Seth,
Abstain. So I wasn't there.
Soraka, sorry, Soraka, did I miss you?
Yep, it's aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, next on our agenda is public comment. If we have any that are present for public comment, please enter your name in the chat. If you're not able to enter your name in the chat, then you can also unmute to let us know that. We'll give a moment for that. Okay. We'll move on then. I don't hear or see anyone for public comment. Oh, I was going to skip and come back. Is this okay for you, Dr. Miller?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you. You all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just wanted to, just by way of introduction for any who are not aware, Dr. Thomas Miller is the founder for Leaders Building Leaders. He has been a former charter school principal and a state consultant. And most recently, he has been partnering with Casa Esperanza to help us with organizational effectiveness and is now serving as our interim head of school. Without further ado, Dr. Miller, please.
Yeah, thank you. Members of the board and the parent stakeholders, you know, I'm not, you know, I've known Casa, I've been part of the Casa like entity in, we've got some feedback there. Since 2012, I was the consultant for Casa, and I knew some of the staff then, and over the last few years, some of the staff members have participated in trainings and hiring the last leader. So it's a real honor to be part of an organization. It's been so strong for so long. And so just an update. We've been the transition team, which is made of board members and staff members. We've been working through the candidates for the head of school, and really excited about the next 10 days. We've been doing supervisory reference calls and had a really great one this afternoon that made me feel really good about one of the candidates. And we'll be reaching out to the staff and to some parent groups to identify how they could be part of the process as we move forward. So I'll be on campus tomorrow. So I know there's been some parents who have reached out, and I haven't met with the staff yet. So it's my first goal is to meet with staff, identify some of our immediate needs and address those, and then we'll have some opportunities for the staff to meet with. So, but thanks for this opportunity, and really looking forward to helping Casa take the next steps.
Thank you very much, Dr. Miller. Appreciate that. All right, we will move into new business. Our first item of new business is the Teachers and State Employees Retirement Program. Alice, would you like to present?
Absolutely. I need to screen share, Monique. It says it's disabled.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Ask everyone else to mute, please. Everyone else who's not speaking.
Oh, are there cars here? One car.
Ms. Lockhart?
All right. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So the time has come for us to formally vote on the direction that we've been looking at for a while about leaving the state employee retirement plan, affectionately called TEASERS, which stands for Teachers and State Employees Retirement Plan. Our intent is to leave on the 1st of October. And just as a refresher, why are we doing this? Contributions have grown in the years that we've been part of the plan, significantly to where if in fiscal year 21-22, they would be above 22% of our total payroll. These contributions are set by the teasers board with who really doesn't have much insight into affordability by individual schools or organizations. Their focus is on maintaining the plan. So it's a significant expense that is out of our control, which is difficult to manage and plan for, given all the other strategic goals we have. Another dimension, an important point is that these contributions that Casa has made for so many years are not credited to Casa employees' accounts. They essentially go into the general pool of money for the plan. Additionally, Casa's employees are required with no optionality to contribute 6% of their compensation. Whereas the alternate plan that we are replacing this plan with has a significant amount of optionality as far as how much teachers contribute and when they contribute. So it's much more something where employees have options and ways to manage affordability for themselves. There is no indication, we've had multiple conversations with the leadership at Teasers, primarily the state actuary. And there's no indication that this level of contribution is a temporary situation, given the fact that people live longer. And this plan, the way this plan is structured, it's likely to continue to need additional contributions and growing contributions every year. Our preferred approach to leaving the plan would have been to grandfather our active employees and leave the plan in a way that I would characterize as prospective. So any new hires after a certain date would not become members of the plan, but state statute forbids that. An entity is either all in or all out. I've alluded to this before, but our revenue is determined by the states and the counties that our students live in. So we get a dollars per student every year, and there is no assurance that our revenue will increase sufficiently to cover the growing pension contribution, which is really the essence of the risk this plan poses for us. I think it's an important point that there are roughly 200 charter schools in North Carolina, and only about 15, so less than a third of those, or 59, pardon me, less than a third of those schools are participants in the plan, which I think speaks to how the charter school financial model and the characteristics of the plan are just not easily coexist, just don't easily coexist. So in the end, it's just difficult and risky for us to think that we can continue in this plan and keep our eye on maintaining the long-term sustainability and flexibility that we need to make an excellent school. Couple other little tidbits of data. We have, if you look at our compensation and benefits as a percent of revenue, for the last few years, it's been running in the 65 to 66% range. And in our 5-year forecast, when we look at the years after we have left the plan, we drop down below 60%. So compensation, non-compensation expenses we can cover more non-compensation expenses because of this or compensation for that matter, but it can be teacher pay. So we have much more flexibility is the point moving forward. Additionally, I think it's very important to make the point that as we've discussed this and analyzed this option, it has not been, we do not go into this lightly. We know that this has a significant impact on our staff and our team. And we find that to be a regrettable consequence. And we understand that some teachers will likely choose to preserve their pension benefits by moving to a school that's still in the pension. That's very unfortunate, and we would love to avoid that. But as board members, our obligation is to plan for the sustainability and long-term health of the school. And we feel this is an essential change that we need to make. So logistically, this is kind of the sequence of events. Tonight, we need to vote on and authorize, or we need to vote and have an official board declaration of our intent to leave the plan. Before the end of July, then we need to inform teasers of this decision. And I have the mechanism by which that happens, which is simply an email to a couple of key leaders at teasers. It needs to be sent by Monique. And it needs to reference the board's vote. Teasers will calculate our exit liability, which we have been assured will not change because the assumptions for calculating those liabilities will not be updated until late October. And before October 1, then we need to work with all of our team to get them to register into the 457 plan as far as how much they would like to contribute. You might recall that our proposal for the 457 plan, which is very similar to a 401k, is that Casa will match up to 4% of an employee's contributions. So there is, incentive for employees to contribute. But we need to go through that logistics and help give employees the opportunity to assess how they want to direct the 6% that won't be coming out of their check anymore, starting in the first pay period in October. Additionally, we need to buy disability insurance for our employees because that's something that was covered by teasers that we now have to handle with a private policy, which is, we have priced those and it's not a significant expense to the school. And then on or about October 1, when we actually exit, teasers will issue us an invoice for the exit liability, and we have 90 days to pay. So we would be looking to make sure that our bond issuance timing aligns within that 90-day period. So we would have the cash to pay the exit liability. So what we, if there are, well, first I'll pause. Does any of the board have questions? If not, then I need a motion to for Casa to leave the teachers and state employees retirement plan effective October 1 of 2021. And to appropriately communicate in July. Yes?
I was just going to ask, do we need the way it's written here, did you want both parts in there, or do we need a separate motion for authorizing the communication?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think either way, we can have two motions or just a single one. if there's a proper protocol, we should follow it.
I just wasn't sure if the state
No.
needed specific.
I mean, I think this could be communicated by either the board chair or the head of school. So,
Alice, hey,
Yep.
it's Seth. Just a quick question. Obviously, we've talked about making the switch that you've presented, and the retirement plan would switch from the state plan to the plan.
the 457. Yep.
Right, that you briefed the teachers on.
Yep.
Do we need to do a separate motion on that as well?
I think we do, but we have time. We can do that closer to the day. I think what we need to move on that is the match, the Casa straight up contribution and the match.
Okay.
Percents. I think we've discussed that at a couple of meetings, but we will have a formal motion on those things probably August, September.
Okay. And how soon do you, and obviously you're not the person we've worked with the Prudential folks, but how soon do you think they might be able to reach out? Sorry, forgive me. The staff have the contact info for the person at Prudential, right? So
yes, and they've been able to reach out anytime now. That the Prudential plan is available to Casa teachers today. It's been available for years. It just hasn't been the primary plan. So the woman that joined me in the presentation to the staff, she is available anytime. And she is, that people can consult her at their convenience. Today, she is obviously aware of our direction and looking forward to working with this. But I think the key point on the 457 is after we get school started and people are a little settled in, we need to have like an enrollment period where the teachers can go ahead and authorize any payroll deductions starting October 1st and get those and get that all communicated, working with the Prudential plan to get that all in place.
Right. I agree.
All the questions though are addressed.
Sorry.
I was going to say all the questions though, and the contact for that is already set up because she came to that last faculty meeting.
Yep. And all of her contact information is in the FAQs so that people can easily reach out to her anytime.
Great. Just wanted to make sure that was understood.
Appreciate the question.
Yep.
I would make the motion that we leave teasers effective October 1st and authorize the chair of the board to communicate this decision to teaser officials by the end of July.
I'll second this, John.
Those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Alice.
Sure.
Monica. Mike?
Aye.
Beth?
Aye.
Soraka?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Alice, for
Thank you, everybody.
summarizing. The next item of business is the change of registered agent. The executive committee discussed the need to do this because of the change in school leadership. And it needed to be done timely this week, communicating that to our legal partners, because we have paperwork applications related to the facility that continue to need to be signed by the registered agent. And so the executive committee makes a recommendation that we keep it with our pattern and history of the head of school being the registered agent. With that, we would ask that there be a motion to approve Dr. Thomas Miller as registered agent for Casa. And just to clarify, this would be until such time that there is a permanent head of school, and then we will vote and change it again.
Move to change agent of the school to Dr. Thomas Miller until such time as we change it again.
Second.
Thank you. Those in favor? Aye. John?
Aye.
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 Alice, got you. Monica?
Yep.
Mike?
Aye.
Soraka? Thank you. And Seth?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Next item is our insurance renewal. This is our standard business. In your folders, you have a spreadsheet, Casa premium comp for 21-22. That's where you can see just financially the comparison for the premiums. So the cost difference is negligible. We went from the $40,539 to $40,964 for the 21-22 period. And that is critical because it renews today. So we've already notified the agent, so we're not at any risk of not having a coverage or having any lapse in coverage. We just need the board to motion to approve the insurance renewal with Philadelphia.
Can I just ask a question? Well, and maybe this is a question. This is Soraka. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So because this is kind of my space in life, day to day, 9 to 5, I looked, just kind of compared overall, and I agree that the changes, the premium changes are definitely negligible. I just had a question about if you look at where it says workers' comp premium increase of $48, that's just the cost of doing business. That makes sense. But why is the coverage amount different? If you look at under where it says Bridgefield Summit workers' comp package premium code 9101, if you look, the coverage amount was $19,500 in our previous policy, and the proposed coverage is now $100. So I just wondered if maybe, because I looked up that code is actually related to if the school has some sort of security personnel that provides it also can cover potentially nurses, other professional employees. So I just wondered if maybe Ms. Connor or someone caught that we're not going to need that level of coverage, like why that premium amount is changing there. But yet, so I was just a general question. I noticed that coverage was changing, and if that's something that we need to pay attention to as we move into the new building. Because I know on one of the tours that we went on, we were presented with the school had a resource officer in the front of the school, and I don't know if that's something we could discuss later. But is that something that we would need to add back in this coverage level? Why did we have this coverage in this policy right now? That was the only thing that struck me in all of this. So, and I'm happy to reach out to them, the contact person, just to ask, just so we know. But I just wanted to put that out there if anyone had any idea.
That's a really good catch. I didn't even notice that, Soraka.
Sorry, this is my world. Insurance.
Fair.
I'm glad it is. What I'll do, Soraka, is just I will kick this over to you. I have the
Sure.
agent that's been sending it, and that way we can let you address those questions directly and make sure that all of these are addressed properly.
Okay, not a problem. Yep.
Are you uncomfortable with approving a renewal of the policy before we find those answers?
No, I'm not, because the premium change is overall negligible. It really is. If you look at it overall, it's a cost of doing business. the changes. Each line item is, I mean, I literally went through each line item and broke down what the cost differential was and the overall, and it's not significant at all. It would arguably from them would be a, premiums overall increase year to year. That's just what it is. But I just had a question about, why that coverage level was changing.
Okay.
So yes, no, I'm fine to approve.
Okay. Thank you. Would someone like to make the motion to approve the insurance renewal with Philadelphia for 21-22?
This is Alice. I can move to approve the insurance renewal for 21-22.
Second, this is Monica.
Those in favor? Aye. John?
Aye.
Aye.
Yep.
Monica, was that you?
It wasn't, but
Yep, that was that was Soraka.
Y'all are trying to mess with me. Okay. Alice,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Seth,
Aye.
and Soraka.
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Next up is the service agreement for speech therapy services. And this is related to the EC services. This is the DocuSign Soman file that you all have there. This was added to our folder, obviously before today, and presented a couple of weeks ago. So from Ms. Connor's review at that time, there's no concerns. Don't believe Dr. Miller has any either, but feel free to let us know if you have anything to add. This is a service requested by the EC director for speech services. I didn't know anything out of line from what we normally are contracting for these roles. Any
Motion to
questions about
approve.
this?
Oh, sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
Motion to approve the service agreement for the speech therapy services.
This is
Second.
Soraka. I second. Nope. Go ahead.
You can have it.
All right, those in favor? Aye.
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 Alice?
This is
Monica?
aye.
Aye, this is Monica.
Mike?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Seth?
Aye.
All right. Thank you all. All right. Next on our agenda are the signers on the school account. We do not need to add Dr. Miller at this time, but we will be removing Ms. Connor as a signer for it, so that the board is aware. Both Alice and myself are existing signers on the account. So that will carry us through this interim period, because there will be 2 signatures and we'll still have the normal protocol and review. So we'll still have the school administration reviewing those things. It's just that the check signers have been reduced to 2. I think we'll just need to get, we'll just take care of a formal motion for them as well with the permanent head of school when that position is filled. Alice, would you recommend that we officially vote tonight to remove Ms. Connor and to have the bank put that in motion?
Yes, I would. I think that's better in controls.
Agreed. All right. Could we have a motion, please, to remove Jarita Connor as signer on the school's account?
So moved. This is John.
Second, Seth.
Those in favor? Aye.
Alice, I.
John?
Aye.
Thank you. I was like, you can say your names then.
Trying to make it easier on your money.
Aye, this is Monica.
Appreciate it.
Aye, this is
Aye. Sorry, Mike, aye.
Aye, Soraka.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Next up are actually the sublease proposals and then the personnel items. We don't have old business agenda items to address tonight. So these two additional and closed business items will be the last orders of business. Of course, we'll return from closed session if there are any motions to be made regarding that. So just trying to see. I think we could probably very well be in closed session for about 45 minutes. I'm just trying to give some kind of time for those who might like to wait in the waiting room. But again, we don't have other agenda items once we return, but you're welcome to wait in the waiting room. So if we could have a motion to go into closed session to discuss real